We want to acknowledge the seriousness of suicide and its impact on individuals and communities. If you're struggling, please remember that you're not alone. There are people who care about you, and help is always available. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, or a professional, reaching out can make a world of difference. Don't hesitate to connect with a helpline or someone you trust. Your life is invaluable.
No, it's
No,
okay.
you're good.
No, hey. No, it's all right. Hold on. We're going to pause this. I'm going to let you in, all right? I'm more... And I'll set up the question. See, it's not going to pick up anything.
I love waving at old people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was recording, but I'll cut that out.
Oh,
I'm not going to do that. So,
better.
I've always been...
Cut this.
I've always... No, you're fine. Because
This is real life.
Don't worry about this.
This is
Right. So, I'm just saying to like, it's always why are you smart fish? Hey, how we doing, guys? Welcome to Real Vegas Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Nate. We have a very special guest today. We have Cassie, or is it Cassidy?
You can call me anything you want, honey.
Anything you want? Anything I want?
You want.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So for our viewers out there, Miss Cassie or Cassidy,
You can call me Cassie.
Cassie. All right, baby.
Yeah.
So Cassie, are you what do you do out here in Vegas? So I'm assuming I've heard you're in the industry.
I'm out here living my life.
Living your life. Oh, okay.
But, you know, with that being said, I have dove fully into the content creation world. I've been doing that for the past 4 years. And it's been amazing. I've met so many, like, just influential, wonderful people that have really kind of guided my life the past 8 months since I've been in Vegas. So it's been really fun.
So you say the past,
Since August, August,
No.
September, October.
I'm just, my thing is I'm saying you
7.
you said you've been in the content creation for like the past 4 years, but you say like you've been in Vegas for about 8 months,
Right.
and you've met I guess you've met like a great support system here for your
Absolutely.
business.
Yeah.
So Vegas has worked out for you so far.
No, it's been great. I think with what I've done in the past with being on social media, I've learned a lot, especially being under agency as well. I've been under agency again for the past 4 years, but I've really only been here in Vegas with my agency since I moved here. So it's been really...
So when you first started the content creation, you didn't have an agency. You just went rogue. For lack of a better term.
Well, I guess I've been on Instagram and social media way longer than that.
But you were controlling it. You're posting all your pictures.
Yep.
You're answering the comments. You didn't have anybody control it for you.
No, and I think that's something that, as like, I don't know if it's a Libra thing,
Okay,
but like, I just love having control of things. I love seeing what I'm doing. I love knowing what I'm posting. I love knowing that what I'm doing is something that's insightful or influential in some type of way. So I keep that moving throughout my social media. And it's been really hard kind of to learn kind of the nitty gritty about all of that. But it shapes you kind of into who you are as a content creator.
Oh yeah.
And it's been really, just I don't want to say educational, like that sounds
Educational.
so bad.
So like we talk about content creation. I know. So I know you're in the industry.
Yes.
And for the people who don't know out there, you are trans, correct?
Yes, I am a trans woman, and so let's touch on that because
Go ahead.
I do not take any credit away from any biological born woman. I think that I am in my own territory. Biological women are in their own territory.
I think I don't
want to cross it.
But I agree. I totally agree. I believe that there's women, and there's trans, and there's men. That's my whole thing. So you can be in my opinion,
Absolutely.
you can be a man, you can be a woman, but in this day and age, because life is more accepting, you can identify as trans.
Yes.
Now, if you don't mind if I touch on that,
Yeah,
because you
absolutely.
identify as trans.
Yep.
So you're an adult now.
Yes.
So when did you have these?
Sadly.
When did you have these feelings of being trans? Like, did this thing come on as like a kid? Were you a young adult? Like,
Yeah.
if you don't mind touching base on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that it comes down to knowing who I was prior to who I am now. All came down to being who and knowing who I was at such a young age. Like, I don't think any other, like, I don't think you kind of had those, you know, I don't think you had those, sorry,
Had the feelings.
had the feelings.
So I didn't. I never had a
Right. You
growing
didn't
up,
have the
I had
feelings.
sexual feelings.
Right.
But my feelings were more towards like I would still.
Mine was who the fuck am I?
Okay.
Who the fuck am I
so
going
you
to
really
be?
had those feelings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I
As
felt
you're coming into
trapped.
sexual, did you get to that sexual age? You
I
start
didn't
thinking
know
about that kind of stuff.
what the fuck I was doing, you know, and I think it came,
So you didn't find yourself so like, again.
Yeah.
So obviously you start off as a young boy.
Yeah.
And so you're getting to this age, and you don't know. Like, for me, it was like hot chicks.
It was hard.
It was fun. But like I'm assuming you were attracted to different things and you felt different.
Yes, and I think because we had mentioned this earlier, like when I realized, I think the first time that I realized I was like into guys was at Target when I was looking at like Hanes underwear.
Okay, Hanes underwear.
And I was like in the aisle, like perusing, and I was just like going for it. And I was like, wow, like, you know, that. And then, like, you know, I'd be on, you know, my mom's laptop, like searching up like things I shouldn't have been at that age.
Can we ask what you were searching, if you don't mind sharing?
2 men kissing.
Okay, so that was, you were looking into the 2 men. So it's funny. So like, when you talk about searching, because
I can joke about it. We all did.
So I would search. So I'm a. This is funny. People who know me know this. I like girls with a lot of hair.
Yes.
So I would search hairy.
Absolutely, hairy puss.
Yeah. No, it's all good. No, it's fine. You're fine. So that's what I would search. So like, you search, which in my opinion, this is just completely my opinion. At a young age, you're literally searching what you're just
instinctively wanting.
Yes. So you find yourself, so you saw 2 boys kiss, and you're like, this is it.
I was like that, and then it kind of came down to like, I was watching a lot of feminization videos, in a sense of like how to guide yourself as, you know, you want to start the stages of it.
So it's okay. I want you to explain. So for the viewers out there that don't know, what is a feminization video?
So a feminization video is where you get locked in and then you just become a woman. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's like,
there's probably a little truth to that.
Yeah.
So like, what I mean, is it like a?
I was watching a lot of tutorials online on YouTube. I was watching my girl Gigi, like on Gigi Gorgeous, for anybody that doesn't know. You know, Angelina Vanity.
These all trans women?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And like, they were such a big role in my life. God, I can't remember her name. Julie Vu. She was also a huge influence on my life. Growing up and not knowing kind of where to turn. Because nobody was giving me answers in real life.
So you're looking for answers. Basically.
I was looking for answers online. Yeah. And so I was doing that via YouTube. And I was searching that on YouTube, and it just became this thing that I was obsessed, that's where it felt real. That's where it felt.
So when you start seeing,
that's what felt home.
So when you
was finding YouTube videos that
you were searching,
portrayed who I was.
Not to interrupt.
No, you're so good.
If you were
interrupt me.
When you were searching those videos, are you still technically a boy at this point?
Yes.
But these videos you're looking at, the trans woman you just said,
they've already
transitioned.
Yes.
So you're looking at them like, I want to be that. So like, when I was a kid, I would look at like Michael Jordan. I would look at like,
I didn't even know
athletes
who Michael Jordan was.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I'm saying I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. So like, I'm looking at people
it's really
I want to be like.
Too.
No, it's not. It really isn't, because you're attracted to what you're attracted to.
Yeah.
So like, I'm looking at these people and I want to be like these people. You're looking at the trans at a young age. And you're like, I want to be like them.
Yeah.
So what age was that?
I started, I guess, like searching the web when I was probably about like 10 or 12. But like before that, I already knew in my mind that I was different because I've mentioned this on a podcast before, but when I was in recess, when I was like probably, I don't know, in first grade, second grade, something like that. I remember this like kid running up to me on the playground and asking me if I was a boy or a girl.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
because my voice, my pitch was so high that it wasn't like matching with like the outside body. So this kid asked me, I'll never forget it in my life, and like wait, sorry.
You're popular.
I am so sorry.
It's all right.
So many boys,
This is real.
so many guys want me.
This is real people, real
Yeah,
conversations.
real
It's okay.
guys want me.
This isn't really this. So your pitch didn't match your body.
Yeah, and
you never got somebody come up on the playground or
I've
something.
never had
you?
vocal feminization. I've never had my trachea shaved. I've never had any modification to my body done. I'm all natural. I've never done any facial feminization.
Except for hormones, obviously.
Except for hormones.
But you're not. You have ever done any like physical surgery?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's crazy.
I've had
not
my
crazy,
lips right, but I've had my lips done
but
here and there, but they dissolve.
That doesn't count.
But at the same time, like
you've never done tits. You never
nope.
done like the
and I
BBL,
love my body.
Obviously,
I love my body.
You look great.
I love my body.
I think trans is hot.
Ain't nobody complaining about these biggie smalls.
No. So while we're talking about the biggie smalls, have you ever thought about maybe at some point did you want to get big
absolutely,
boobs?
but that's not my priority. I want land. I want property.
Finally, someone who makes sense.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
I have certain hands dipped in certain pots of gold that I've accumulated over the years, and that's not been my priority. I know who I am as a person, and like I understand as like body dysmorphia. That's the first thing obviously girls want to get. They want to match how they feel.
A lot of bodybuilders have that.
on the inside, and that's anybody can have body dysmorphia. That doesn't pertain especially to trans, which I think
that's what I'm saying. A lot of bodybuilders have that.
People get apart from you and I, people get kind of confused with body dysmorphia and body. That's like somebody that's uncomfortable with their body sitting in front of a TV and seeing somebody that's, better,
See,
body,
that's what
better.
you said, better. So again,
we all want to be better.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
We do.
We all want to be better.
But I'll say though, I will honestly say,
want to be better.
I've always been.
Just cut this.
I've always. No, you're fine because it'll be on.
This is real life.
Don't worry about this.
I don't give a fuck.
You don't have to worry about. Yeah, all right. So I'm just saying. So like, as far as the body dysmorphia, again, no judgment. I've always loved who I am. I've never like had
absolutely.
that. I've never had that.
Right.
But that's what we're talking about. So
it
like,
sucks.
Yeah. Right. Okay. But there's a way you can live with it and deal with it.
Absolutely.
There's a very healthy way you can do it.
Absolutely.
And I think one of the great things you have going for you these days is we're definitely more accepting of trans. And 100%. There's definitely more options for trans these days. So you're
it's not just working, girls. Let's not get that twisted. There's so many options for us. Yes, so it's out there.
So you get you're a young person. You're having these feelings. You're looking up to these YouTube people.
Yeah.
So when do you finally or say, you know what? I'm not a boy. I'm a trans woman. And do your friends and family support you in that? Or that's got to be a big. It's
switching
that's
genders.
Scary.
Switching genders.
And a big deal to be able to talk to people about it and live your life openly and freely with that. So how did that work out for you? For lack of a better term.
At first, it did not work out for me.
No?
I think a lot of girls can kind of relate on that. My family aspect was not even a family when I transitioned because like.
Were your mom and dad both in your life?
Brothers and sisters? They are still in my life.
Okay.
Thank God. I have a very great relationship with them.
That's amazing.
I have a really great. My parents are still together.
That's amazing.
I have a brother. He's amazing. Like, you know.
So you have a brother, a mom, and a dad.
Mom and a dad.
And so do
they give me the best support. They text me every day like I'm the daughter.
But that's amazing.
Yeah.
But when you first come out as trans,
yeah,
is that
my parents?
Did you have like a family meeting? Did you like call them?
Yeah, I put it on. I put it on a PowerPoint for my dad because I grew up.
Did you really?
I grew up military.
Okay.
So
you're a military baby.
So military brat.
Hey, real quick, shout out to the military.
Lo and behold, we love. Thank you.
Yes.
So I grew up like that, and so we moved around a lot. So that was very hard, but bringing that to their attention was kind of scrutinizing for myself because like I was like I either lose my parents' love or like be myself. And I was like 13.
Which is very that's the age where you're really coming into puberty.
Yeah, like coming into yourselves and like
you know what you're attracted to in your mind and who you are.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
So like you obviously probably had this like a burning.
I had this sensation.
You had to tell them.
Yes. This
I can't hide it anymore.
This wanting and knowing and like this like over like I felt so overwhelmed that I had to tell them. You know, and it came to the point where I was like at the point, you know, disclaimer, self-harming.
So I want to elaborate on that. So because I want you also, this podcast is just real people, real conversations.
Yeah.
I want also people to
know
there's nothing wrong with being trans.
No.
In my opinion, there isn't. In your opinion, there isn't.
No.
But self-harming is never the way.
No.
But as a young person, and then people are going to see this.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell someone that, and it's like you probably regret maybe doing that, but at that time in your life,
it felt right.
Yes. Where else are those emotions going to go?
I didn't want to put that on anyone else, and I think that I was so wanting to be who I was that I was doing it because I felt like there was a body underneath myself, that I was not physically the body
that you were,
that I was, that I felt like me now was underneath who I was.
I agree.
And so that's where that like wanting, and also like I was very lonely growing up. I had friends, but like I never told them anything. I felt like they couldn't relate.
And by other, like I said, like again, this is a scary thing. Your friends,
people I don't even talk to now.
Right? Isn't it crazy? Like off subject for a second. Isn't it crazy how you think that people when you're younger be in your life forever?
Forever. And I think
high
that
school,
like
they're gone
it's so
forever.
credential of who
I
I
like
know.
2 people from high school.
I don't talk to anybody.
So while we're talking about trans,
Yeah.
so people who know me,
Yeah.
I'm openly into trans.
Yeah,
I always have
absolutely.
been, but I have a lot of friends
Yes.
from high school that I don't ever talk to
There's
anymore.
a lot of people that have contradicting.
But you find the 1 or 2 people that are really cool.
And they love it.
And they love it, and they don't care because they like you.
They love it.
You know, because they like you. So.
And I think it comes being kind of like scrutinized for who I was.
It's gonna be
as
hard.
a child. Like, you know, now as who I am at this age, I don't condone anything that is being, you know, obviously taught and all that stuff. Like it's not really my forte because I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't taught anything.
Right.
It was something that
It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah. It was anything that I like was taught in my life. And that was kind of just things that I made a journey about myself, you know, and it was something that
it's gonna be scary sometimes.
It was self-taught.
So you said you put together a PowerPoint for your dad.
Yeah.
So did you have like a family meeting? Did you do it over
text
text
message? In the living room.
So it's you, your brother, your mom, and your dad?
Yeah.
And then you just basically said, hey, I feel like I'm a trans woman.
Yeah. And I guess in that aspect, I told them that I didn't feel comfortable in my body and that I didn't feel right being who I was portraying as a boy at the time.
And how old were you when you did this?
13.
So you're 13 years old.
Yeah.
You tell your parents, and then if you don't mind me asking, whatever you're comfortable talking about, how did they react?
My mom already knew because I kind of
You think you would, as an adult now, you would kind of know.
My mom knew. She had this aspect that, like, I mean, even when I was 3 years old, 3 or 4, my mom brought me to Target and I wanted like a dress up wedding dress. And I I can't remember if I've talked about this before on a podcast, but I think I have. Brought me to Target and I saw this wedding dress that I thought was like the most gorgeous thing that
This is so random. They have wedding dresses at Target?
it was like a dress up like for like kids. Like it
Oh,
was
okay.
like
I got you.
I was again probably 3 or 4 years old at this time.
So wait a minute. You just took me back a little
I was
bit.
just I was enthralled and attracted to just femininity and being in. I would dress up in my mom's heels. Like when my parents would go out to dinner and leave me with my babysitter, I would, spray her perfume on me and like
Really?
wear her heels, yeah, around the house. And it was that to me felt like my time to kind of be myself. And then I'd have to rush around when they're on their way home and like put everything back and like make sure that they didn't know. And that was like I did that for years. I did that in high school too. Even after I told my parents about who I wanted to be. And I told them, I was like, I'm like, do you want like a dead son or like a happy daughter?
And so how did they, after the initial,
My dad didn't talk to me for like a year.
so he was pretty taken back by it.
But I get it. But I get it.
You said your mom knew. How could he not see?
But I get it because he didn't want to accept it. I get it because it's a transition for everyone. It's not just like a transition for me.
Yes.
Like it's for someone
I'm glad
else,
you see it that way.
Yeah, for someone else to completely accept you for who you are, that's hard. All my friends that have accepted me for who I am, I give you credit, bitch, because that's crazy. That's hard. I don't think I understand that because I've never had to go through that. I was the one going through it, so I've never had to fully understand that. But you guys are amazing. Anybody that has supported me through my life, through everything, has, it's been very, very greatly appreciated. And I don't think that like someone who isn't in my steps understands that level of support for just being who you are.
So after after a year, your dad, your family, like your brother, your mom, everyone's like, okay, finally. They finally accept me for who I feel like I am.
They told me that we were going to go out to dinner and I could dress how I want. Oh. And I was like, I put on my best. Like I had just bought a dress at this place. I think it was called Francesca's.
How old were you at this point?
I was like 15.
So is your hair long? Are you doing makeup?
I was wearing wigs.
Okay.
I was wearing
a lot of
wigs.
Girls, a lot of like,
at the time because my hair wasn't long.
Okay.
I was wearing wigs at the time. I had jet black hair, piercing blue eyes. So I was kind of giving like Megan Fox vibe.
Okay.
So I was like living in it, but like my parents said that wasn't me. Like this is who I am, But back then I was finding myself. So they told me we were going out to dinner as a family and to just get really nicely dressed up and
dress how you feel.
How I feel. So we went out to, I think it was Roaring Forks in Texas, in Austin, Texas. This was like, I don't even know how many years ago this was. This was like over 10 years ago. And I felt so beautiful. I felt like, and I think
you feel like physically, I feel like you feel beautiful, but inside,
mentally,
no, really, even with your parents,
no,
you didn't feel great yet.
It was more so worrisome because
a little stressful because it's the first time.
The first time. Yeah. Also, I think my parents were worried if somebody was going to say something. They were more worried about my protection.
They might see that you're not a cis woman at first.
Well, they were more worried about if somebody was no. They were more worried about if somebody was going to say something to me, and if they were going to have to step in. That's what they wanted to protect me.
Yeah, of course.
They wanted to be there, but they felt like that's their duty. Like if somebody, my mom is like hawk. Like, I love her.
That's great.
But, like, you know, but she's like anybody that, you know, she feels like, you know, people I've been with in the past or anybody, you know, XYZ, she is my secret weapon. Like, she's amazing. And, you know, I don't think that I've fully understood like how they felt in that dinner. I think because they were looking over their shoulders the whole time.
So at dinner, is it you, your mom, your dad, your
Yeah.
brother? Or just you and
Yep.
your mom? Okay.
Yep. All of us. And I think, like I said, they were more so worried about the aspect of somebody saying something. But I think that solidified that my parents could go out with me and not feel like nobody said anything. It was just a normal family dinner. It was the first family dinner where I felt like myself.
But after that dinner, you had to feel really good, like relief, like, oh my God.
Well, actually, it was really sad because I had to take everything off.
And you don't want to do that.
I didn't want to. I want to be full time.
Okay.
So I had to go home, take my wig off, go to bed, and like it was like this, like.
So this is really a burning sensation. You really feel like a woman.
Absolutely. And I was so young too, and I don't think that it was so much talked about back then. Because what is it? What year are we in? 2025.
25.
So 2015. Like, just imagine, like, the movie 2012 just came out. And I'm sitting there thinking, I want to be who I want to be. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You know? So it's just, it's crazy where I'm sitting now.
Were you ever attracted to chicks?
No.
You ever hooked up with a girl?
Strictly dickly.
You never hooked up? Have you ever?
I've done videos with women for content.
Not content. As just for fun. Have you ever gone for women?
No.
So you've only done, so you're attracted.
I love sucking cock.
Okay. Oh, wow. Check the OnlyFans later.
You'll see it.
Yeah. But as far as like, you knew you were attracted to males.
Very.
Go ahead. Doesn't matter.
I know. I don't know why the fuck that I just like, I don't know. I think it's in the past. But,
uh-oh.
Keep that in.
Yeah, plug it up. It's all right. I'm going to keep everything in. This is a conversation.
Any hoozy. What was the question?
So as far as like you were never.
He's been telling me to keep my hair out of my mic the whole time, and I'm really failing at it.
We put it in the middle.
I think I'm doing really good.
So I was saying like you never were attracted to females. You were only attracted to men.
Strictly dickly.
You've only worked with females for content. Is that hard for you to do?
Honestly, I'm going to answer it honestly. Yeah. Because that's just not what I feel.
Right.
I feel in my head that like I'm woman.
So when it comes to
I'm trans woman.
Of course. Yes. So funny thing, I feel like I've been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of trans. Yeah. I know a lot of chicks. I know a lot of guys. I know a lot of everybody.
A lot of people in the industry.
Yes, I do.
There's so many.
But
there's so many, and they're all so amazing. I
always feel like the non-successful,
they're haters.
The non-successful, non-passable ones, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, are the weirdest ones. They're weird and they're haters.
I think it's all validation issues.
It is, because the hot ones, the ones I know, are all hot. Shout out to you.
We just know.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Brittany Cade. Shout out to
my
Audrey Cade.
girlies.
Shout out to Ariel Demore.
Emma.
Shout out to Emma Rose. I shout out to you girls. They seem very, again, like
they're all in tune with themselves.
You get a stigma of trans. You're gonna get them in.
You
get these weirdos. You get these weirdos in the bathrooms and all that, which I get. But you're
so annoying.
Like it's just gonna sound.
Because imagine just me like just laying here.
This is a real. In my opinion, you're a real trans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real trans. You're not some guy in a beard in a wig.
No.
Screaming about trans rights.
Not me.
You're doing your thing. You're
I'm
making
just
your money.
living my life.
Yes.
And I'm just
like everybody
doing what I need to do.
Every cis man, every cis woman, every trans that are normal are just trying to live.
I love eating sushi out of box. Yes. I love, taking a dip, a night swim. I love taking
we were
time.
talking about TV shows.
I'm.
You have your TV shows you watch.
I love my binge watching episodes.
See?
I love rotting on the couch and being gross. Like I think that's what the thing is. Like we're so overly sexualized in our industry.
It's crazy because there's more than that.
It's more than that.
Here's my saying.
I walk my dog 3 times a day. I go out and I love Chop Stop. Like, and I like you can make your own salads and bowls.
Oh yeah, Chop Stop. Yeah.
Chop Stop.
So I've always argued the point that like a lot of people think like
I got that
your sexuality makes like
Defines.
90% of you, but it doesn't. It makes like 10% of you.
And like I was saying, it becomes the thing is like I was saying, our media, our social media. For me personally, I definitely over sexualize myself because.
But you like that.
I do.
That's what you're into.
I do.
You're in the industry.
And that's just who I am.
Yeah, that's fine. So I was going to ask you. So as far as like, I know you're attracted to males. So like as far as that goes, are you what they call a total bottom? Are you
total bottom? Gold star. I've never topped anything, not even a toilet paper roll.
No?
No.
Total
not even a grapefruit.
Do you even like
I've never used a toy on nope.
Do you like
No.
Do you
I just like getting fucked.
Do you like
I like getting sucked.
But as far as when it comes to that, but it's fine. But as far as like the full show, you're never doing the topping.
No, never. I don't know how to thrust on a man.
No,
never.
No,
I want to be thrusted on.
I think that's pretty normal. I mean, you look like. Listen, I tell this to a lot of people, especially the girls I've worked with.
I am very lucky.
You're hotter than a lot of chicks, cis women. And I like how you're open-minded and how not offended
Let's
you are.
all put effort into ourselves, girls. Come on.
I agree.
Where the fuck is it?
I agree.
Let's get it.
I agree. Hey, I've been. People know who I am. I've been an entertainer.
But I love my girls. I love my sisters.
Yes,
They're
I do too.
Amazing.
I love everybody that's not a hater.
Let's get it together.
We try to make everything so political and weird.
I know.
Come on now.
Right.
Just like you were saying, just live your life.
Eat
your sushi. Have your fucking binge watching.
I don't give
have
a
your
fuck.
Friends. Go to your
Eat
pool
sushi
parties.
off my ass. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, right.
You know, I don't like. So what is the big deal?
How old were you when you started getting into the industry?
I started in the industry actually after this guy fucked me over. And I was like so mad at him that I didn't want to block him on anything. I was like, you know what? You're going to see me on everything.
Oh.
You're going to see me on all the trans websites that you pull up. You're going to see me on everything.
So this guy did you dirty.
It did me dirty.
You're like, I'm going to do you dirty.
Yeah.
Now.
So, and it was more so a side thing because I have my cosmetology license. I was working at a med spa for about 2 years and it was a side thing. And then it became more. I was like,
you're full time now.
Yes. This is all I do. This is all I do.
You're an industry girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or industry trans, whatever.
Industry transgender, transsexual.
See, I like how you
trans proper. Trans
I love
whatever.
Oh, was it weird for me or insulting for me to say that you're a normal trans?
A normal trans.
Yeah.
Add sexual after that.
Normal sexual. I'm just saying you're just normal to me. You're normal.
I know, and you're so
weird.
sweet. No, and honestly,
there's some weird ones out there.
The thing
they
is,
usually have beards and they
like
can't pass.
said, we get overly sexualized so much that it's to a point where you can't even have a date with a guy without. Even though, like,
but don't
yeah,
you like
of course
that?
I want to have sex with you after a date.
So
of course I want to do. But, like, at the same time, it's like, maybe treat me like an actual woman on a date. But at the same time, I know I'm a trans woman. I know I'm not a biological born woman. I don't take, like I said, I don't take any credit away from them. I know y'all can give birth. I wish, bitch. I wish, but I don't. I know what the fuck. I know what I can do.
Yeah,
you know,
you're a hot trans. In my opinion, you're a very hot
yes.
trans.
So, and that's the thing is like you just own it. You own your own body. You own your own, and that's the same thing with any woman, any man, you own your own self. And I think that's where people get confused. I'm myself. You're yourself. You're yourself too. So, like, why are we telling people to do what they want to do with their lives?
So be comfortable being yourself.
Be comfortable being yourselves.
I agree.
You know, but don't.
I agree.
But don't make it in a sense where you're shoving it down someone else's throat. You can be.
I know, I hate that too.
I mean, I love having something shoved down my throat,
Oh
but
my God.
you know,
Clip that.
sometimes you have to just live life a little and own
I see
it.
what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
as far as like,
I don't know what the first
agenda.
question was,
No,
but
you're fine. It's like, as far as the agenda goes, quit. Just be yourself.
just be yourself, bitch. What the fuck?
I know. I agree.
What the fuck?
I agree.
What is so
100%.
hard about that? Own it.
Yeah.
Own it. And I think that's where like I've really like loved myself. I own who I am.
Yeah.
I know that I'm a gorgeous tranny. You know?
See, I love. So I say tranny.
I
got yelled at for
love
saying tranny
tranny.
too.
I'm a transsexual.
So I have a
tranny.
question. So a few questions.
Yeah.
So does the word chick with a stick offend you?
It depends.
If it's not derogatory in a mean way.
If someone I know is saying it, I don't give a fuck. Because I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm just a chick with a stick with a mental disorder. You know? And that's how it is. But like, if someone that I just
Clip that.
if someone that I just met said that, I'd be like, who the fuck?
Well, because why would you say that? When
Right,
you first meet?
right.
That'd be like, that's
Initially.
like things you just don't say when you first
Initially.
meet anybody.
I don't ask. I'm like, how many inches?
About 7.5.
I know it's. You know, it's good.
It's good as fat, but it's like I'm not the full 8. I'm not. I've told
But like, I
people
wouldn't just walk up to
I've
you
told
like,
people
"What do you got?"
on podcasts.
What do you
If you're
got?
looking for King
But
Kong
like
Bundy, look elsewhere.
But like I said, I'm very lucky that like I really don't run into a lot of scrutiny in public.
And Vegas is probably going to be, and California is going to be less likely.
Less likely in Vegas and Cali, they don't give a fuck.
How's about Florida, where you're from?
Florida,
A little different.
you have to.
I feel like there's a lot of hot trans in Florida.
Wait.
Was it?
Stop, tuck, and roll.
Okay.
You have to stop, tuck, and roll in Florida because they don't.
I thought they liked it. In Florida, I feel
They
like
do. There's a lot of so in Florida, within the right communities, there's swinger communities. There's
oh yeah,
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale, there's a lot of nude beaches. You know, and I only really dove into that with my ex, but like I really even never knew it. I knew a lot of girls that were in the industry.
So being in the industry, I know about these. They have them out here, but they have these swinger communities in Florida.
Yes.
Or lifestyle communities.
Yeah, all nudist communities, everything.
So what got you at it? What would you move? But
I'm not fully comfortable nude with myself.
Really?
No. Like if I'm cuddling with a guy, like after the fact of having sex, like I'll put a thong on because I fully don't, like I'm comfortable with my body, but like I want to give the aspect of this like feminine masculine ratio of being fit. Like,
do you like having?
I do, and it's a 50-50.
Really?
There's days
you're
where I love
sometimes
being cock-slinging transsexual hot motherfucker.
Okay.
And then there's days where I'm like, I fucking hate myself, and I wish that like I was not who I was.
So, but I'm saying like, is it as far as like, have you thought about the
more
surgery?
Comfortable days? Oh yeah, I think anybody that's been in my shoes has thought about it. It's something that I personally feel like there's so many errors that go wrong with it that I personally, the guys that I've been with or every single guy has told me not to do it only because of the complications.
Well, it's the complications in like just like if we're going off facts and like statistics.
I know girls that can't have sex.
I
love having
suicide rate for after that surgery is very high.
It's
and
suicide rate in general for trans women.
It's usually the ones that have the surgery.
Yeah.
And that's all. I'm just going by the statistics.
And I fully vouch for any girl that wants to do anything to their body. That is totally fine.
Yes, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Personally, for me as who I am with somebody in the community, I don't feel like that's what I want. I don't want to. You
look amazing.
I love my girl cock. I love knowing what I have, and I love that. Like, if I'm intimate with someone and I'm like going out and like, you know, we're by the pool, nobody knows but us.
No one knows.
Nobody
unless
knows.
You want them to know.
Unless
and that's kind of hot to you, right?
So yeah, and I think, but like, I would never like intentionally hide it from someone and go about it.
No, if they ask, you're gonna tell them.
I've learned from a young age, like, I mean, I talked about this on a podcast. I was beat the fuck up from this guy that knew openly who I was. And then after that, he beat me up after.
So, but
anywho,
he knew who you were, and still
he knew who I was. He was completely just wanting me and everything. And yeah, he beat me with a baseball bat.
Did he do it to you?
Yeah, he fucked me.
But did he do the oral to you?
No, not oral.
Because I was gonna say, because like
he
obviously
just
this guy,
fucked me,
but
he kind of had come clarity after
but
it.
It doesn't matter. See, that to me, that's like
he just fucked me.
He's got some weird.
So it was more so he came to the fact after.
I have clarity too, but I've never had that feeling.
He beat me with a baseball bat.
That's crazy.
Like,
really?
I had a broken like collarbone and broken ribs from it.
What?
Yeah, like
that's a serious thing.
I know. He's still
like, I know you're kind of laughing it off. But that's
I know
horrible.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
No, that's crazy.
That's just how I deal with
back
trauma.
In Florida?
No, this was Texas. This was like when I was like 18,
so
before I moved to New York.
So you guys do your thing.
This was a guy.
He goes to completion.
This was a guy I met at a bar.
And right after you're done, he just starts getting fucking crazy.
We were sleeping together, and then I woke up to him hitting me. So then after that, he threw me out of his house. And it was really bad. You know, and so I've learned, obviously, like, it's very easy for trans women, like, to be in that situation. If I can't just go to a bar and meet a guy. I have to tell him my whole life story and hope that maybe.
Or just tell him you're trans.
Yeah, but like, what? And then get punched?
I don't know. That's obviously
like I've been hit so many times. Like I got jumped. Like there's so many things that like it's more so a safety aspect. I will more so get your number and then be like, hey, like so good meeting you. I'm gonna dip with my girls and then text you and tell you it and then see how you feel before pursuing it. Because
that's a very smart thing to do.
I don't want to get.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't want to get you in a state, and I don't want to get myself. And if we're separated, and if I'm telling you this, 50-50. It's a 50-50. They either love it or they don't. So
I never cared.
Right, but that's the thing is like it comes down to a safety aspect.
Interesting.
Of all of it, and any one of the girls can relate to that is we get scared of meeting guys. We don't know their intentions.
Right.
We don't
Some guys are cool. You got some guys that just aren't.
That beat the shit out of us.
That's nuts.
Like
it's crazy to even fathom.
You know?
Yeah, like actually, I don't know.
I couldn't see for 3 days.
Know. I've never done that to anybody. You know? And I had a friend of mine years ago.
It's anybody, honestly, and this isn't just
beat up in
any trans thing. Anybody could get beat up. But it's the fact that, like, because of who we are and who we portray ourselves as, it becomes more so a target. And, you know, that's what it is. So I'm very lucky. The girls I know are very lucky. I've met some amazing people in the industry, and shout out to everybody.
You've been in the industry in Vegas. It's been good to you.
Yeah.
You're shooting you do a lot of mainstream films. You do a lot of the private OF stuff.
So I just work strictly OnlyFans.
Okay.
So I've never done mainstream.
Do you manage your own page and all that? Or do you have like a company? You have your own OF stuff, and so you run your own OF.
Yes.
So it's gonna be a lot of work.
It's a lot.
Yes.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm so exhausted.
But you enjoy it though, right?
I'm so exhausted.
And you rolled up in like a newer BMW. So obviously, and you live in Henderson.
Yeah.
So it's obviously it's one thing about America.
Yeah.
You can be, you know, I'm not gonna get too political, but it's one thing I like about the freedom of this country.
Yeah.
You have the right here in America.
Right.
You have the right to be trans.
I have.
You have the right to market yourself.
Exactly.
You have the right to have an OF.
You
have the right
lucky.
to make money. You have the right to live in a nice place. You have the right to have a nice. Yeah, me and you both. Anybody. My point being is we're in America.
Yeah.
This is a great thing about this country is you get to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You get to run your own business.
I really do.
OF. And speaking of, how can people find you on Instagram?
You can find me on Instagram at Cassidy Collie. It's CassidyCauley.
We'll put a thing on there. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
And then how can they find you on Twitter?
They can find me on Twitter at GRLNXDRCASS, and it's Girl Next Door Cassidy.
Girl Next Door Cassidy.
I'm Girl Next Door Cassidy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just your perfect girl next door.
Yeah, you look great.
Thanks, babe.
And I appreciate you. Like, again, we talked about more of the you coming up as a trans and you and the feelings you felt. And I honestly want to say I thank you for being so open.
Of course. I think that's as a trans woman, I think you have to be open and be willing to be open for people to understand you. You know,
A lot of people, it's scary though.
It's scary, but like
a lot of people don't want to talk about it or be
I'd much
humanized
rather talk about it and be scared than having someone, you know, be confused about who they want to be or who they see
Be
me
comfortable
as.
with who you
Be
are.
comfortable as who you are.
I've always
Be
been
comfortable as
I've
who
always
you
been
are,
a,
bitch.
I've always been a I've
Just
always
an
been a supporter of
advocate,
that.
just of who you are.
I've
A
always been
good
who
person.
I am.
If somebody pulled up to my house with fucking 3 wheels on their fucking car, where are we going?
I don't think they could pull up to your house with 3 wheels.
I don't care.
understand your point.
I
Unless
don't
they're driving
care.
a 3-wheeler.
I don't care. If they're a good person, where the fuck we going?
Well, you're not going
Even if
anywhere
we're
with 3
not going
wheels.
anywhere.
You're not going. You're already calling an Uber.
But, you know, I'll call an Uber for them.
Right.
They pulled up with this.
Right. That's hilarious.
That's just who I am.
No.
It's just, I don't care about anything. People with a lot of money can be fucking assholes. People, you know, you never know who you meet. So I take it with a grain of salt. Anytime I have an interaction, I'm very lucky that somebody sees me as who I am.
Do you have any advice to anybody out there who's young and feels trans?
Just live it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it.
Okay.
Because if I didn't do it, I'd be dead.
You think so?
Yeah.
It was that deep? Huh?
100%.
It's nuts.
100%.
In my opinion, you seem like a very beautiful, nice person.
I
And it would be
have a
shame
lot
if
of
you had
trauma.
it would have to be it would be really unfortunate if you had to unalive yourself because of that.
I know.
When you say trauma, you don't have to answer. Were you ever sexually abused?
100%.
Really?
Yeah. By
Wow.
people I loved. Into my teens.
Really?
And to who I am now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's real. It's there. It happens. And, you know, we don't portray that anywhere. I would never, like, and that's the thing is this is actually me this is the first time I've actually talked about this.
You don't have to.
No.
I don't wanna
I think
make
it's
you
very
uncomfortable at all.
actually important. You know, it happens. And a lot of the girls that are close to me know stuff that's happened to me in the past. But I don't think I wanted to, like, how can I talk about that?
We don't have to elaborate on it.
You
I'm saying
know?
it did happen to you.
Yeah. Because of who I am. Not
Right.
because of who I wanted to be.
Because of who you are.
Yeah.
They thought they could take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. People are messed up.
You know, but you just got to keep living.
So that's one thing I'll say.
Just keep living.
I did a show with Mark called Soft White Underbelly.
Okay,
And
yes.
a lot of people in the comments are like, this guy's has a lot of trauma. And I've had trauma in my life.
People throw out trauma.
But
Trauma.
you have to
They
move
don't
on.
know trauma.
You have to, well, some people I believe do.
Well, right.
But I'm just saying, like,
Cut that.
you have to learn. No, it's fine. You have to learn how to. You learn how to live with it, and you learn how to deal with it, and that's it. You can't.
And you help other people.
If you dwell
with
on
trauma.
it, you don't dwell on it. I believe you don't dwell on it.
I forget. That's why I laugh sometimes when I was telling
A
you
lot of
all
people
the
do.
fucking like crazy stuff, and they like don't. Some people are like, you know, why are you? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, it's not funny, but like it's just how I react because
So-
it's like, why?
Where do you? Good point. Where do you see yourself in? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years, hopefully still alive.
Okay.
That's the biggest.
Why do you say that?
I don't know what my future is going to be. I don't know if I meet someone that, you know, does something to me, or I just kind of live every day.
You have a fear of that?
Yeah, I think anybody kind of has a fear of just something that in their life.
That's a pretty
I have a fear of
detailed fear.
I have a fear of somebody taking my life because they can't handle who I am.
Because of the abuse you've had before.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Oh, I hope it doesn't happen to you.
I hope so too.
And I appreciate you sharing your story.
Absolutely.
I do, because you seem like a very happy.
I'm very
nice
lucky
person.
that I'm sitting here.
You have a very great vibe to you.
You too.
We've talked for a while. I've met you at the ADNs.
Yes.
And you've always
Briefly.
been very nice. Yeah. You've always been very nice to me. And like I'm just saying, like we've shot for similar big companies.
I just live, laugh, love.
Right?
That's it.
I mean, what else is there to do? And there's going to be a lot of people that live by that motto.
Live, laugh, love.
Right? So live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Again, you can find Cassie on Twitter and on
Twitter,
Instagram.
social media, anywhere. You can Google me.
Yes.
I'm everywhere.
What would be your full industry name?
Girl Next Door Cassidy.
So Girl Next Door Cassidy. You can find her online if anybody wants to look that up. This has been a great conversation. You've been a lot of fun.
We love it. You too, honey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is Real Vegas Podcast.
So great.
Right? It's been great, right?
This is real as fuck.
It's real. It's just a conversation.
It's real as fuck.
So I'd like to say thank you for tuning in. This is Real Vegas Podcast. You can find us at Real Vegas Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or X. I guess it's X now.
X.
All that stuff. I'm your host, Tyler Maid. Thank you so much for watching. And Girl Next Door. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. You're a great human being. Peace and love, guys. Thanks for watching.
Forge.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Real Vegas Podcast. Real people and real conversations. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.